Hey, how's it going, guys? And guess what? I'm doing something a little bit different, so really close up because I'm trying to do some technical wizardry here so that you get to see my reaction, but in glorious HD, rather than from the rather shitty OBS thing that you get. So, today's video is about the stuff that happened on Twitter with Tom Bloke. Yeah, this is my first video on this guy, I think. I can't think of any other video that I've ever done because, ironically enough, he's just not relevant enough for me to even warrant a video until he said something really retarded recently. But of course, we'll get to how that's ironic in a little bit. So Tom Bloke tweeted this out, and he says this: "You can't use guns to defend yourself against guns. It just doesn't work in practice." Yeah, I wish I could fathom how this could work in practice. I mean, you know, basically saying that guns, to defend yourself against guns, just doesn't work. And then I responded to this initially saying, are you retarded? Because that is a genuine question to ask when such a person poses this question without a hint of irony, without a hint of humour. I mean, look, people responding to this, I meant literally every individual situation, it doesn't work. That military shouldn't have guns. They're right. That's obviously what I meant. You basically are saying that because some people get shot because they have a gun, therefore that means the gun didn't work. Well, no, maybe that person just wasn't quick enough to deal with the situation, or the other person was better shot than them. But hey, you know what? You know, Tom, let's see if your hypothesis is correct. It's not correct. And I'm going to show you why this is not correct. Now, I'm going to show you a clip from a film for a fictional account of how weapons can defend oneself against other weapons, using one of my favourite war films, and then we're going to have a real life military person who got the second highest gallantry medal in the British Army after he single-handedly killed 30 Taliban soldiers attacking his checkpoint. Now, let's just watch Anthony Hopkins deliver some good justice to some Nazis, because if it's one thing Tom Bloke and his ilk love is seeing Nazis get killed and punched. So let's just watch that, shall we? Alright. And, funnily enough, this scene has somebody walking out in front of a machine gun nest without a weapon. Whew. British officer. He's going out there unarmed. Well, he's armed with an umbrella. According to Tom Bloke's logic, this could work in some situations. An umbrella against a MG42. But let's see what happens. And like a true British officer, he goes out there, standing tall and firm. He's not ducking. He's showing he's brave. He's showing he is a leader to his men, who are taking the necessary precautions and being very cautious, getting down low, getting away from the field of fire. He's just right there in plain sight. I mean, it's okay. Come to Tom Bloke. This can work.
Cover fire, quick! Smoke!
It's like every single match in Rising Storm 2, isn't it, guys? But anyway, yeah, the guy gets shot, by the way, in case you want to know. He gets shot around here. There you go. Right in the arm. That umbrella didn't protect him. Now, how do they destroy it? Well, it's simple. They get one British TV actor, who, well, he's famous now, he's like a Geordie, with a flamethrower to destroy it. And they nearly messed that up. But, as we can see here, again, this is very much Rising Storm.
Now! Oh, now we're in trouble, you bloody missed it! Well, you knocked my arm, you clumsy bastard. No, we never get out of here. We've been an ammunition dump! Bloody ammo dump!
Shit! Funniest part of the film. But yeah, you see? Weapons. They defeat other weapons. Now, let's get to the best bit of the film. Now, a little bit of historical context here. This is based on Operation Market Garden. This film is called A Bridge Too Far, and basically what happened was Operation Market Garden was a mainly British idea to try and end the war early. I think it was early 1945. Basically, they wanted to do what they did in D-Day, drop men down onto the Dutch bridges near Nijmegen and other cities, capture these bridges so that then another army could come in and link up with the British, American and Polish paratroopers and then enter Germany, beat them, end the European war very quickly. Sadly, it didn't work out that way. Now, this is one of the battles that actually did take place. This legit took place, only there's slight differences. The British didn't know at first it was the Germans. In this, they seem to know it is the Germans. They didn't, because they were expecting it to go like clockwork. They expected the Germans to be essentially shit troops, but they actually ran into an SS Panzer division. But there was a lot of drama going on about that as well. But let's just watch this battle scene. It's generally one of the best battle scenes I've ever seen. So, Tom, I hope you're watching. And if you want to know what these are, these aren't Panzers, these are half-tracks and armoured cars, plus just Jeeps. Just so you want to know. Doesn't he just look cool? I know I'm pausing it, but I don't want copyright shit. Look at Anthony Hopkins. This is pre-Hannibal. He's so fucking cool. He's so cool in this film. Like, Sean Connery's cool in it, but he's such a badass in this.
Hold your fire! Command, wait for the command.
Look, Tom, they're not doing anything with the weapons yet. They're holding fire. Now, according to your logic, not holding fire could actually work. Because remember, fighting guns with other guns doesn't always work. And look, the German commander, he's like standing tall, just like the other British officer. I wonder what's going to happen, I wonder. Oh no, these people are getting killed now because they're not shooting back.
Stop that man! Fire! Fire!
Now you see, Tom Bloke would say that, the Piat, that's what it's called, it's a Piat rocket launcher. It's pretty shit, but it did its job in this battle. At least this battle. That he would say that might not always work, because it's a half-track, it's an armoured vehicle. It might not work against the armour all the time, or they might miss. You just don't know. Well, those Piats end up creating a bottleneck where these people get killed. Spoiler alert. Oh yeah, bash the fash. Don't you love it? Bash those fashes. Hopkins, bash him. Again, it's basically assaulting any big fortification in Rising Storm 2. You're just going to get slaughtered. And look, see, the guy, he was up there, unprotected, wasn't even using his gun because somebody else was using the MG34 there, I think that is. He gets shot, he gets blown up. And then this is probably one of the most heroic moments in the film itself. But it's foolish. But according to Tom Bloke, this is just as effective as using a gun. Look, this guy sees his commander in danger. He realises he's got to save him. Otherwise, the battle is lost. Well, the battle already is lost, but he wants to save him so they can live and fight another day.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Poor Fash. He gets killed. Oh well. But, you know, Tom says that could work, but it just didn't work because he runs out there without even a pistol or a grenade and he gets Bren gunned, essentially. The Bren gun is what shot him. It's a light machine gun.
Bye!
And that's it. Weapons against weapons. What wins? The British weapons. Why? Because they're in a better position. They were dug in. They used their weapons correctly and better than the Germans. Although at the beginning, they were just being less cautious and wondering, well, are the Germans in there? They didn't even bother to, go under the bridge, because bridges have, subsections to see if there was anybody. But, hey, whatever. But according to Tom Bloke, that doesn't always work. Now, let's get to a different thing. Let's go into real life. Now, this was, 6 years ago now. And this is, again, the British Army, or more specifically, the Gurkha Regiment. And this guy is called Diprasad Pun, and he defeated more than 30 Taliban fighters single-handedly, and in fact used a tripod of his machine gun to beat away a militant after running out of ammo. So, in many ways, Tom is right. You know, weapons, they don't always work, but you see, he ran out of ammo, but he still killed 30 of them. A Gurkha soldier who single-handedly defeated more than 30 Taliban fighters has been awarded the Conspicuous Gallantry Cross by the Queen. I think he deserves a VC, but VCs are usually rewarded to people who die, or something incredibly heroic. Not everybody dies, like in Rorke's Drift, which was the first battle where it was given out, but I think he deserves a bit more than conspicuous gallantry. Corporal Diprasad Pun, 31, described how he was spurred on by the belief that he was going to die, so had nothing to lose in taking on the attackers who overran this checkpoint in Afghanistan. His gallantry award is second only to the Victoria Cross. Corporal Pun, from 1st Battalion of the Royal Gurkha Rifles, was presented with the GGC during an investiture ceremony at Buckingham Palace. during which a number of other soldiers were recognised for their bravery. Speaking after receiving the honour from the Queen, the Gurkha said, "I'm very excited and happy to be here in the palace to receive the Conspicuous Gallantry Cross. This will be a great memory for the future." The soldier fired more than 400 rounds, launched 17 grenades, and detonated a mine to thwart the Taliban assault on his checkpoint near Babaji in Helmand province, southern Afghanistan, last September. At one point, after exhausting all his ammunition, he had to use the tripod of his machine gun to beat away a militant who was climbing the walls of the compound. I know I'm laughing, but it's just typical Gurkhas. This is what they do. I mean, a lot of it is exaggerated, their acts of military prowess, but they deserve this reputation for a reason. And it just makes me laugh that he beat the guy down with a tripod. I don't know. After the ceremony, Pun was congratulated by investiture guests who queued up to shake his hand. Speaking about the actions, he said, "At the time, I wasn't worried. There wasn't any choice but to fight. The Taliban were all around the checkpoint. I was alone. I had so many of them around me that I thought I was definitely going to die. So I thought I'd kill as many of them as I could before they killed me." He's like, "I'm not going down until I take every last one of you with me." What a badass. But hey, according to Tom Bloke, weapons against weapons doesn't always work. Yet, clearly, had he not had his machine gun, had he not had the tripod, which he wouldn't have used without the machine gun at all, he would have been killed. He wouldn't be alive today. He's still alive to tell the story. That incident happened in the middle of my tour. After that, I thought nobody can kill us now. When we met the enemy, I wasn't scared. I thought the Taliban didn't have the capacity to fight with us. They don't. Okay, nobody has the capacity to fight these guys. Not even the Japanese. Corporal Pun, an acting sergeant during his Afghan deployment, was on sentry duty at the time of the attack when he heard a clinking noise outside the small base. At first he thought it might be a donkey or a cow, but when he went to investigate, he found two insurgents digging a trench to lay an improvised explosive device at the checkpoint's front gate. He realised that he was completely surrounded and that the Taliban were about to launch a well-planned attempt to overrun the compound. The enemy opened fire from all sides, destroying the sentry position where the soldiers had been on duty minutes before. Defending the base from the roof, the Gurkha remained under continuous attack from rocket-propelled grenades and AK-47s. Most of the militants were about 50 feet away from him, but at one point he turned to see a huge Taliban fighter looming over him. The soldier picked up his machine gun and fired a long burst at the man until they fell off the roof. When another insurgent tried to climb up his position, the Gurkha attempted to shoot him with his SA-80 rifle, but it did not work. It had jammed, or because the magazine was empty. He first grabbed the sandbag, but it had not been tied up, and the contents fell to the floor. Then he seized the metal tripod of his machine gun and threw it at the approaching Taliban militant, shouting in Nepali, "Machu Talai, I will kill you." That's badass. That's just oh, that is amazing. And knocking him down. Two insurgents were still attacking by the time the heroic Gurkha used up all his ammunition, but he set off a claymore mine to repel them. At this point, his company commander, Major Sean Chandler, arrived at the checkpoint, sat him on the back, and asked if he was okay. In total, he fired off 250 general purpose machine gun rounds, 180 SA-80 rounds, 6 phosphorus grenades, 6 normal grenades, 5 underslung grenade launcher rounds, what else? And 1 claymore mine. The only weapon he did not use was a traditional curry knife, carried by the Gurkhas, because he did not have it with him at the time. Oh, they'd be dead if he used that. I mean, look, he didn't have his knife. Because Tom Bloke would say, well, why didn't he use the famous knife that they have? Well, he didn't have it. And you know the thing about taking a knife to a gunfight, right? You do know that metaphor. Right, Tom? You get it. The married soldier, whose father and grandfather were also Gurkhas, is originally from the village of Bhima in western Nepal, but now lives in Ashford, Kent. His medal citation said he saved the lives of 3 comrades at the checkpoint at that time and prevented the position being overrun. It read, Pun could never know how many enemies were attempting to overcome his position, but he sought them out from all angles, despite the danger, consistently moving towards them to reach the best position of attack. Major General Nicholas Carter, who was commander of combined forces including British troops in southern Afghanistan during Corporal Pun's deployment, praised the soldier and those from the Mercian Regiment receiving gallantry awards today. The senior officer who received the Distinguished Service Order from the Queen for his leadership in the Middle East said, "The efforts have been tremendous. It was a privilege to have members of the 1st Battalion Royal Gurkha Rifles and the Mercian Regiment under my command. The Conspicuous Gallantry Cross does not get handed out lightly. It was a most remarkable achievement by that particular young Gurkha." Amazing, guys. And that really just shows the importance of having a weapon. Without those weapons, without the general purpose machine gun, without his explosives, and without his SA-80, even though he was outnumbered, he could put up a fight. In many ways, he was equalised against a more numerically superior force. But Tom Bloke would have you believe that that's not always the case. Guns against guns don't always work. Well, no shit. Knives against knives don't always work. Sticks against sticks don't always work. At the end of the day, it's down to luck, it's down to skill, and sometimes it is down to numbers, but not always. Those Taliban should have beat him, but they didn't, did they? And the Germans, even though technically they kind of won the Battle of Operation Market Garden, they didn't win that particular action because their tactics were wrong and the British were just too dug in. Later on, they will beat them, but it took them days, weeks even. I think they were meant to last about 2 to 3 weeks, but they ended up lasting about 6 to 8. Tom, you're wrong. But wait, there's more. There's more, because, Tom, I tried to take you to task for this, and here it is. Look, I asked you, so if guns are useless against other guns, what weapons shall the average Joe use to defend themselves? Knives? Fists? And rather than just respond to my question and answer it, he decides to go, well, he wants to go fallacious with me. He wants to just ad hom me and say, it's pretty sad how few followers you have, considering how hard you tried to be a bottom feeder on YouTube. Ha! Really, coming from a guy who's desperate for attention and accolades from his fellow social justice warriors and anti-tribalists on Twitter. You see, if I was a bottom feeder, why would I have restarted my YouTube career and have this new channel? Because it's pretty clear he doesn't realise I used to have a channel that had nearly 10,000 subscribers. Most of it was due to me, not other people. But that's besides the point. I don't rely on other people. And it's just projection on his part. And clearly he can't even argue his case. That's why he has to resort to fallacies. Come on, Tom. Come on. I thought that's only what sarcasms do, right? That's what people with no arguments do. I thought you lot were better. I thought you had robust arguments. And look, I even told you, are you going to answer my question? Or are you just going to use ad hominems? Give me some robust arguments. Come on, man. That truly is the end of the video. Tom, you're an idiot. Weapons are an equaliser. It doesn't even matter if it's a gun or a knife or a stick or even your fists. If you're good at using your fists, it doesn't matter if it's karate or boxing or anything of the sort. You've got an advantage over somebody who doesn't know how to use them properly. So, until next time, I'll see you guys later. It's been your boy.